Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Metroid II, Return of Samus. Last time we had cleared out all the Metroids in this water filtration sewage type plant maybe. And we had an earthquake, so now it's time to head back to the main cavern and see where this opens up to. So this area that's going to be opening up to it's commonly referred to as the breeding ground, because there's a whole bunch of Metroids in here. Probably the highest concentration of Metroids in the entire game. So it's going to take a while. It's actually going to take 2 episodes to go through. I'm going to split it up into parts where I mainly do the room type section first, and then I go into the more wild cavernous areas where most of the Metroids are going to reside. So time to head deeper into the planet, as always, hunting down more Metroids. So we're going to encounter a lot more Gammas now. The Alphas are going to start to be phased out, but they'll be a mainstay throughout most of the game, but they're definitely not going to be the one that we're going to be encountering the most of. So we got this more menacing type cavernous area. We've got spikes now hanging up, and the rocks look more charred, like, I guess more lava burnt. So, but, got these weird enemies. The wave beam is really good against these enemies. They have kind of a shield on their sides, and you can only hit them from the top or the bottom, but the wave beam, because of its nature to pass through objects, can pass through those shields. So to the right there was the cavern into where the wilder area is, where more of the Metroids are. We're going to head up to the top here first. We're going to have some, like, room structures. I don't know what this area is kind of called. It doesn't really seem to have any specific function to it. So, I'm just going to call it the runes. So, just a bunch of these blocks, you know, nothing in particular that we can make out, but I'm gonna climb up the wall here. Be careful of luckily we don't have any enemies there, but if there are enemies, sometimes there's enemies flying around. You gotta make sure that you don't get hit by an enemy in the spider ball, because they'll knock you out of the spider ball. Head through the sand over here. And we're going to get a very important item. The space jump. Basically, it eliminates gravity in a sense. It'll allow you to continuously jump over and over and over again. So we don't necessarily have to rely on spider-balling up walls anymore to get over large walls or to ceilings. So as you can see, we can kind of just jump up, and they kind of put those spikes there so to prevent you from spider-balling up that thing, so it forces you to get the space jump. So we're gonna head down that little hole there a little bit later, but we're gonna drop down this area first. We have a Metroid coming up. Cling off to the side here because we have a little hidden passageway that we want to go into here. And we get our 3rd energy tank. And we saw there was a missile tank over there to the right when he entered into this there, so we're going to drop down a little bit, use our spring ball to jump up, and we can collect another missile tank. Just head on back this way. A little difficult sometimes because it's tough to see where you're going when you're blending in behind the walls there. But now we can bomb this rock and fall deeper down. If for some reason you don't have the space jump and you get stuck down here, there's those platforms that swing around that you can jump on. But space jump's going to make it easier. Now that we have the space jump, a lot of Metroids are going to be fighting in vertical passages. So adds a little bit more strategy or difficulty to the fights. There'll be quite a few passages where there won't be platforms like this. It'll just be a large vertical area, and we gotta be just space jumping around as we hit the Metroid. So It's one way they make the Metroids a little bit more difficult without necessarily making them, you know, stronger. They just put them in stronger environments, so that's pretty neat how they did that there. So, they increased the challenge without increasing without adding a new type of Metroid, at least yet, so. There will be more Metroids added later, so. I'm gonna hop down this hole here, and we're gonna blow out some of this sand, because there's another missile tank hidden here. And here we're going to end up in a bunch of these vertical passages. We actually have 2 beam upgrades that we can get in this area, so... Here's another vertical passage with a Metroid in it. Just kind of gotta bounce around, shoot it as we're falling. And if it goes off screen, we're just gonna have to jump up and try to find it again, because the Metroid won't follow you off the screen, so... Just gotta head back up. We've got it kind of trapped here. We've got it in a good space where it's kind of stuck. And now we can head on up here a little bit. There's another missile tank upgrade up here. We're gonna have to jump over with the spider ball, though, because we gotta bomb this hole here. And now we can crawl up. And we can get another missile tank. And now we'll head down a little bit deeper into the into this area. They must have did a number on it because a lot of the floors are, like I said, missing in this area. So now that we could have went to down a little earlier in the passageway and would have got a different beam, but I'm gonna get this beam here first. We'll get all the beams. We got another Gamma to take care of. Like I said, they're becoming the more popular Metroid. So head over this way, and we're going to get another beam upgrade. I think this one is the Plasma, which I don't really like. It's apparently the strongest beam, but it has a very low hitbox to it. So, yep, the Plasma beam. So, it's, like I said, the strongest beam probably does as much damage as a missile, but it's very thin, and it doesn't pass through shields like the wave beam does. So, you basically have to hit the enemy right on to, you know, defeat it with a plasma beam. Like I said, I don't really like it. It's my least favorite beam, but it's one we had to pick up, so. Another missile tank here coming up. And let's head a little bit deeper. That's why I picked up the plasma beam before I got the last beam that I'll pick up, the spazer. I like it a little bit better. Probably like the wave beam the best, but we're not going to be using that one, so. Space jumping can be a little bit tricky. It seems to be a little bit easier when you're going horizontal rather than vertical. So I try to incorporate some horizontal movement in my whenever I'm jumping. If I have to go vertically, I try to jump a little to the right, then over to the left, right, left, so forth and so on. But those spikes there made it a little bit tricky to do that. So we got another alpha here. Our first alpha in this episode. Like I said, they're going to be a little bit more rare as we go on here, so. Jump up, cling on, and grab another E-Tank. We're taking quite a bit of damage here, so it's good relief to get that E-Tank. We just make our way back, and we're going to head back to that initial vertical passage we were in, where we dropped off and went to the right. This time we're just going to head straight down into it, and we'll pick up our last beam upgrade. So, the spazer beam, which is kind of like a three-way shot, but it's not like a three-way spread shot. It's just 3 beams that, so it gives it a wider arc than your regular beam, but other than that, it's not particularly remarkable. I guess it could do a lot of damage if you hit an enemy with all 3 of the beams. So we just head up through the floor here. Use our space jump. A lot of those areas are blocks are false. You can't really land on them. So head on over here. And we're gonna pick up our plasma beam. Or the spazer beam. We already have the plasma beam. Man, I'm getting beams mixed up now, just like how I got the spring and the spider ball mixed up. So, as you can see, we got it's like a three beam, so it's a little wider. It can also be good for those sand rooms because it can cut through the sand pretty good. Not necessarily as good as the wave beam, but it's an option. So, it's nice if they give you options. So, I'm sure there's some people out there who like the spazer the best. Some people like the plasma the best. So, definitely, they give you options, so... In future Metroid games like Super Metroid, you can, stack the beams, or most of the beams. I know, like, you can't have the spazer and the plasma together, but, you can have, you know, like the wave, and the plasma, and the ice beam all together, so... I think in Metroid Fusion, though, they do allow you to have all the beams, mixed together. So, but not this game, but let's head down this way, pick up there's a missile charge battery there, fill up our missiles, getting kind of close, 250 is the max, so only 40 more missiles to get. We also made quite a dent in the Metroid population. It started off with 39, we're down to 22, and that number is really going to fall after this area here. Because, like I said, this area probably has the biggest concentration of Metroids in the game, so... But it's so large and so big that we're gonna split the episode up right here. Gonna make a quick save point, and I'll meet you back here in our next episode to take on these Metroids. Bye!